So hey guys, it's Chris Kirkpatrick, and I'm here with Darren Olayan and David Childs, the CEO owners of Nui Social and Mintage Mining. And we're doing a lot of stuff right now, and if you're anything like we are, there's a lot of transition going on in the world of cryptocurrency and network marketing, and this kind of model, leveraging this business model in the crypto space to create a lot of opportunity for a lot of people, right? And so I want to have this talk with you guys simply because a lot of people out there have had some really good experiences and then kind of got kicked in the teeth a little bit, and now there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of fear. And after meeting you guys and kind of establishing this relationship and learning a lot more about what makes you guys different, I thought it was really important to kind of share it with the world and do this video so you guys we can have a conversation and kind of let everybody know what makes you guys different and how are we going to protect people from maybe how they got kind of kicked in the teeth before and all that stuff. So if you don't mind, I'd love to just kind of start with you, Darren, and just talk a little bit about what is Nui Social, what is Mintage Mining, how is that relationship, and what makes you guys different?
Just wanted to say hi first.
Yeah.
These guys have come out probably 5-6 different trips from all over the nation, so I wanted to thank them for taking the time to come out and meet us. And because of those meetings, that's why we're sitting here.
Yeah.
You guys know us, you touched, feel, kicked the tires, you've seen everything, but now It's time to share it with you on this video. So wanted to say thanks and for taking the time to watch this. So one of the things that we're super excited about is this blockchain movement. Dave and I have had lots of conversations, and when you understand what blockchain is, it's really bigger than the internet. Okay, the internet was the ability for the world to communicate, and blockchain changes and flips the whole thing around to where now everything becomes transparent. When you understand waves and trends of technology, we're talking about the biggest gold rush that could possibly exist. And if I'm going to have to sum up exactly what our job and what we want to do and our mission and our goal, it's really to provide you the tools, the picks, the axes, the rails. This is the story that Dave has been telling me for years. I'm a little bit slower to adoption, so I'll let him talk about it some more too, but that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're trying to provide the tools for you to have success. Now, when we identify what Nui Social is focused on, it's very simple. We want to help 1 million people make $500 a month. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do it by providing these tools. Cool. So that's a quick summary of what we're doing and how we have settled on this. But as far as what's happened in the past, right? Let's talk about what's happened in the past and why I'm excited about crypto. Dave and I have been working for more than 8 years together on all kinds of different business deals. And as he's been sharing with me this opportunity in the crypto space, because this is his background, I'll let him talk about that. But what we've been looking at is, as I've dove into this head first, full speed with Dave, we have seen fraud. We've seen all kinds of crazy stuff out there because it is the Wild West. Yeah. There is no regulation. And when there's no regulation, unfortunately, you attract a lot of the people that are there to pump and dump, take money, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. It's unfortunate. But the beautiful part to that is we have known this, and we have focused on the fact that legitimate equipment, mining, and all that provided, we can provide a real service. Mm-hmm. The one thing we have focused on harder than I've ever done in my entire life is the legal side. We've been working with a law firm called Jones Day. You guys can research them, but one of the top law firms in the U.S. and in the world. But the reason why we went with them is because of some of their partners that have been leading legislation in cryptocurrencies. We specifically went with them because of personal relationships, so it's always good to get introduced to the right people, and we have those relationships. But even more important is they have been leading. When we talk about leading legislation, they're the ones out there writing legal documents saying, hey, if we were to regulate, this is the type of things that we would do. Fortunately, because of our relationships, you guys can take the time and Google, and you'll notice, but some of these largest government agencies, we're talking SEC, we're talking Treasury, we're talking FTC, we're talking about FinCEN, we're talking about all the ones that we've been waiting for. We've been dying for them to step in the game and help clean it up.
Sure.
Well, the beautiful thing is we've spent the time and done the due diligence and the money and done everything they've asked us to do so that we are compliant when compliance comes.
So you're pre-compliant.
Yeah, you can't. If anyone tells you, okay, Chris, if they say, hey, we're SEC compliant,
there's no such thing.
There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. Okay, right. So it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But What we do know is because of the law firms we're working with, we want regulation. We want it to get cleaned up. And what we can tell you is we've done the due diligence, spent the time, and have the right partnerships to be ready for when compliance comes.
That's awesome. So talk to me a little bit about that, about the United States and Canada, because there's been some companies, a couple that come to mind that I won't mention, that have had to pull out, right? And so I think a lot of people are now scared about operating in the U.S. and Canada just because they've had that experience. So how are you doing it here? Like, how do you have so much comfort around?
Simple answers. Once again, let's go back to our law firms. Mintage Mining has law firms. Nui has law firms. We've already mentioned who some of these are. But we've set up the structure properly so that if anything were to go sideways, money's received for contracts through crypto, money's paid out through crypto. That means if everything that we did to prevent and be compliant when compliance comes, if that all went sideways, we still have the ability to pay them on their contracts. Right? Okay. You want to add to that?
So I guess that comes down to, so David Childs is the owner of Mintage Mining. And so talk to me a little bit about all that, if you could. Just
as a mining group, there is a lot of, I don't know what your word is, but there's a lot of confusion on what's
it's a good word.
What's actually legal and what's not.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, if it's perceived as a return on investment, then that's where it's perceived as illegal in the U.S.
Sure.
Security.
Or it's a security. Where mining that we're offering is not a return on investment, it's the proceeds of the hardware itself.
Gotcha. So people are, what do you call it? Are they buying it? Are they leasing it?
It's a lease. It's essentially a lease of hardware.
Okay.
And so the unit, a mining unit, is it's all distributed of all of our hardware. So we have a whole bunch of different hardware mining different things, and you're getting a lease of all of that hardware, a small portion of all of it.
Fantastic. Based on the amount of units you buy and so on and so forth.
The amount of units you buy.
Okay.
Exactly. And so by doing it that way, we're ensuring you get the result of whatever is produced by the hardware.
That's awesome.
And so our optimizations that we can do are just to enhance the performance of the equipment.
Yep.
And that's basically our whole goal, is to, one, constantly get new hardware, get new stuff coming in, so everybody is diversifying into more and more hardware.
Nice.
But at the same time, we're trying to optimize what coins are being mined at what point in time.
No, that's great. So talk to me a little bit about, because this is a big thing, talk to me a bit about how you guys are aiming to be hyper transparent about everything you're doing, because I know a lot of people have been burned because of lack of transparency, you know?
Yeah, so our goal, and we're not there yet, is, so we've had kind of a multi-phased approach.
Sure.
In the first phase, we've had such huge interest, we've partnered with a lot of other third-party providers of hash power.
Okay.
And so we've been offloading some of that hashing performance onto third parties.
Okay.
Right now, we're in the process of all new units that we're selling are on our own hardware.
Okay.
Which, as that gets up and going more, we're going to be able to disclose the actual mining pool, so everybody can see the actual hashing power that we have allocated.
Cool.
So you'll be able to see exactly what hashing power your units are attributed to.
Very cool. And that'll be, all right, so that'll be, what, do you have a time frame on that? Not holding you to anything, but is there,
we're on camera.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, it's available right now, technically in beta phase.
All right.
And so we're going to give a select few people access to that in the short term until we're confident that it's ready for the public. The worst thing that can happen in this environment is we release it and it's not perfectly accurate, then everybody freaks out.
Then it causes more problems than good, for sure.
Yeah, and so we want to make sure that we're giving it the users actual tools that have been proven to work.
Cool. So, Darren.
Yes, sir.
The two companies.
Yes.
Explain the relationship between Nui and Mintage, if you could, and
I'll be super transparent on that. We'll stop there. We'll start right there, because I was trying to buy this company, officially do that. Greg's over here. Our attorneys are sitting right over here on the side. But our attorneys 100% said, no, you can't do that. And so it's very important to understand there is a Chinese wall as far as ownership goes, between the two companies. I was going to expound a little bit more too. We have Mintage has a 3-pronged approach, right? Yeah. Mintage has a good, better, and best marketing strategy as far as what the products and services are. We started off with our third parties. Phase 2 was getting on Mintage Mining's own equipment, and Phase 3 is really interesting. I'm only going to talk about this on camera because it's already published. Okay, it's already published, so we can talk about it. But it's really interesting if you understand blockchain, and if we are going to provide the rails to this next gold rush, it's the network. It's the decentralized network that blockchain was founded on. That's not what's happened. We have these massive conglomerates all over the world, and they scare the heck out of new blockchain ICOs and development. Legitimate ones are worried because they can be overtaken by their competitors or enemies, be pumped, dumped, destroyed, everything before they even got started. So what we have experienced, and this is a fun conversation, but over the last few months, we have blockchain developers coming to us asking, hey, is there any way we can jump on your network? We'll pay you a little bit more, just because we need the hash power. We need to test it. But we also want to work with a decentralized network that is spread out amongst the NUI affiliate network. We are supporting the true cause of what blockchain was founded on, which is why we're super excited.
That's amazing.
If you put a timeline and say, hey, what's the timeline on that? Well, he already answered you. We're ready.
Gotcha.
We're in beta.
Yeah, sure.
We're in beta, and we're going to be rolling this out and testing it out as we go.
That's awesome.
But I can tell you right now, for the next 2-5 years, we are going to build the railroads. That's what we're doing.
That's amazing. Yeah. So let's kind of pivot from that a little bit and talk about what makes Mintage different. What makes it safer? Like how are you doing things that are getting the results? If you look and compare it to other opportunities that have existed over the past year or 2 years, it maybe isn't quite as sexy, right? As far as whatever, but
as far as promising 1-5% a day, right?
But everybody who's
companies have done that.
Everybody who's experienced what I've experienced is realizing, what did I really get? It is what it is. But so, what are you doing to really ensure people? Talk to me about the amazingness, the upsides, right, and the results, and talk to me about the risks that are actually involved.
Before Dave jumps in, I wanted to say, hey, we are here. We've got a physical location. We've got 26,000 square feet. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're sitting
We've
right
been
now.
public. We've said this is us, and this is we're putting our flag in the ground saying we are here. We're working with our law firm. We've put our money where our mouth is to be in this space. So when you guys have asked me on numerous other occasions, do I feel comfortable? It's the most comfortable I've ever felt, knowing that this is the Wild West, and we're doing everything that we can to be compliant. Now, I would love to say, and I think I'll say this, I believe Mintage Mining is probably the most transparent company in the mining world that I've ever seen. And I'll turn that over to him because this is where it gets fun.
I think there's quite a few differences between what we're offering and what other companies do. The primary difference in most mining operations is they'll sell you hash power for a specific algorithm or a specific coin. And what that does is that ties you to the value of that one currency.
Gotcha.
So if you buy SHA-256 Bitcoin mining, and the pool of Bitcoin mining goes up, you get a smaller and smaller return.
Gotcha.
That's just what happens. And that's the nature of the mining, is that the more people jump in on the same thing, the less your individual share is. And so we decided at the start was, well, if I'm going to invest personally, because I started buying my own machines a long time ago, and found that that's not an effective strategy, because you're just constrained to a single hardware type.
Diminishing returns, basically.
Diminishing returns over time. And so what we said was, we're going to change the game where you're acquiring a large variety of algorithms, which is why it might not be as sexy when Bitcoin's up to $20,000.
Sure.
Because Bitcoin's doing really well, right? So if you're mining SHA-256, you're loving it. But when Bitcoin comes down, everybody's like, oh man, I got in at 18,000, now I'm losing money. And so what our philosophy is different. It says, okay, we're always going to buy a variety of hardware to diversify what we're mining at any given time. And then we're constantly optimizing. So what that does is it gives us a long roadmap where ours is profitable for a long period of time, instead of short, hot flame on when the price goes up when the market's out.
That's awesome.
Let me answer that in a different way too.
Yeah, please.
Instead of taking $10 million and going out and buying $10 million worth of mining equipment today,
sure,
that mines Bitcoin, this guy is a genius. What he's been doing is buying every single week a certain portion, because we know how fast technology improves. Like the equipment that some of our competitors bought 6 months ago is already extinct. So what he's done, and he's been doing this since the beginning of mining happened, okay? But what he's been doing is buying little pieces of technology and spreading that bet wide.
Yeah, there's a lot of proprietary stuff that I won't get into what we're doing, but essentially we're optimizing what we're mining based off of a variety of hardware. So we're not constrained to just the 10 coin types on SHA-256.
That's awesome. So talk to me a little bit about, how we do things at Mintage. There's artificial intelligence. It's kind of that's a big marketing component.
It is
that we talk about, that we utilize. That means nothing to a lot of people. So talk to me a little bit about how that actually is implemented, in as much as you can.
Yeah. So in any mining operation, they generally have what's called a mining pool, which is the technology stack that all of your hardware looks at to say, hey, what am I supposed to mine?
Okay. And
so we've developed over quite a period of time mining pool software that actually directs the hardware to what it's mining at any given point. So we have a staff of developers that constantly monitors all new coins coming out, new algorithms that are available, new technology stacks. That's what they do, is they try to optimize what's available to be mined at any given point. So it's a pretty robust system, and again, without getting into exact numbers, it outperforms any other mining pool out there. And that's one of the secret sauce that we provide. And
you've actually tested that. I mean, you say it does it, but you're not just saying it because of... You've actually gone out and tested it against the other companies.
Well, because what we'll do on the back end is, if another pool is more profitable than ours, we'll switch our hardware to that pool.
Gotcha.
So we'll take advantage of their outperforming us and figure out what they're doing anyway.
So if they beat you, they don't beat you for long.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, honestly, that's real time.
So, it's real time, yeah.
So I'm saying, so I got to be careful what I say.
We try to take the credit for what other people are doing. I don't want to take credit for it, but we do use whatever is the most optimal at that given point.
Fantastic.
Another cool thing about this whole thing is Dave can go on vacation and it still works.
Yeah.
So
no, that's great. That's awesome.
Not that he loves to, because he's always working all the time, but
and then the other part of it is, like Darren was saying originally, is the decentralized network. We have a decentralized data center concept as well, where we don't have all of our hash power in one location.
Yeah, that's great.
We have data centers in Washington and Switzerland, in Denver. We're putting another one up here in Utah. And so we have data centers where we house our inventory, and then we want to get to the best part that Darren was talking about a minute ago, which is actually get micro data centers in the hands of affiliates, so where they can put the hardware up in their own house. And so that's kind of the next phase of where we're going.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. So if you think about the goal of what we stand for, helping 1 million people, we've already got the roadmap.
I think that's
the roadmap there.
That's one of the things. The first moment I walked through the door and talked to you, because you weren't here yet, I didn't. It took a couple meetings before I met you, but was just you genuinely. I mean, and people could see it on camera. And I was telling a guy I worked with last night, you're so transparent, and it's just so honest and so there's never anything. Yeah, there's nothing behind the curtain, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Been in this game so long. You know what I mean? I know you have too.
Yeah, totally.
I've lost so many times in different deals, you get tired of it. And you realize one of the things I learned from one of my mentors is, when you have a partner that you can trust and go through the thick and thin and through the trenches, those are the partnerships you stick with forever. Dave's one of those guys. I've been through the trenches with him. But as a CEO, how nice is it that you can actually look the guy in the eye, shake his hand, and actually trust him?
That's awesome. And I think a big thing to understand here is there's risks associated with it, right? I mean, because the
business is a risk.
Right, yeah, business is a risk. In the crypto space, you said it's a wild, wild west, right? So, I mean, if cryptocurrencies crash tomorrow, that's a big risk, obviously.
All
and
$700-800 billion disappears. Yeah, then we're up a creek.
You know, that's a big problem for everybody involved. But doing this, the mindset, and this is what I kind of tell people normally, and I just maybe like some feedback from you, is if you're long on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, if you believe in the change that it's going to make in the world, and if you believe in the impact that cryptocurrencies, blockchain, all this stuff is going to have in the future, tell me why that, if you have that mindset, why this is such an awesome opportunity.
One of my strengths is finding and recognizing real opportunities.
Yeah.
I was in the .com. I was in law school and business school while this was all going on. I raised millions of dollars for a company. We crushed it. But I wasn't deep into it. I was kind of the connector. And I missed the .com wave. Okay, I saw it. I was sitting there in business school, scratching my head, going, "How in the world did this .com raise all this money when there's no fundamental business model behind it?"
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was the Wild West.
Yeah.
You saw all these companies get massive valuations, make money, and be out of business a year later. And then the ones that were legit survived and rose up above. That is how I position ourselves during this blockchain, Wild West gold rush. I see it. It's bigger than the internet. And I'll tell you why I believe this. I am long on this because blockchain changes healthcare. It changes real estate. It changes marketing. It changes every single aspect of business that you can think of. It's going to change it and create that transparency. Now, that transparency is an interesting word because it could be hiding it or making it transparent depending on who's putting that blockchain together.
Sure.
But it's going to change every single aspect of business. We only see the tip of the iceberg. We're talking about Bitcoin. We're talking about Litecoin, Ethereum. These are just little pieces of blockchain that are being manifested. Who knows where blockchain is going to take us? We really don't know.
I think it's interesting that people call it the Wild West when I see it as a revolution.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's for sure. The Wild West is because there's a lot of shady people out there trying to take advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, so that is a problem. But at the same time, blockchain itself, if you really understand the core premise of blockchain, it's just to remove third party.
Yeah.
So in any transaction that you normally do, it's to remove that trusted third party that dictates the terms of the transaction.
Yeah.
And so what that allows you to do in technology is to do a deal with you, and we can trust that it's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
Without having to have a bank or an attorney, sorry Greg, actually control that or ensure that it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, that excites me is, when the last experience I had with one of the companies, I could get really upset about the fact that I got money tied up and this and that, and it's taken a while to get it out, and I'm still pretty optimistic that I will, but, I'm grateful for that because, my experience with that really opened me up to a massive world, and, here we are, and just because that bad experience doesn't mean the whole industry's bad, right? And I think that's the people who are actually interested in maybe watching this video and who are interested in they have that same kind of mindset. They're like, wow, I kind of got burned, but I get it. Like, this is...
And before
bad things happen.
You didn't ask the hard questions earlier.
No, exactly.
Didn't understand it.
I was naive. I didn't know what I didn't know. I mean, I have a background in finance. I used to be the head of business development for a Fortune 1000 financial company. So I had a background, but like, this is new. It's from that context, it's a revolution. It's everybody's learning as we go, but we're into it now. People are learning, and you guys have learned from a lot of the mistakes a lot of other companies have made.
Yes.
And so that's awesome.
Hence why we focus so hard on legal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so...
Making sure that you, as a customer, a client, are always going to be protected.
Yeah, that's everything, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have that trust, then you don't really have a business. And that's the awesome part. So there are a lot of people out there, right? So in most network marketing businesses, like let's just use protein powder for an example, right?
Okay. Because I just did that.
so for protein powder, if I'm in a company, typically the only people buying that $80 a month protein powder are people that are in the business, because otherwise, why would you spend $80 if you can go to Costco and get it for $30 or $20 or whatever it is, right? So there's a gap that they usually upcharge just to make the model work, right?
Exactly.
So how is this any different? How can you make it work where there's a model for it to work for everybody, whether or not you want to be a team builder and participate in the affiliate program, which you could talk about after, or just be somebody who wants to purchase mining?
Yeah, so Interesting question, right?
I think
very interesting, because if I wanted to hit this head on and be very frank with you, you got Walmart and Amazon that have destroyed all those models.
Yeah.
That model is dying, okay? Where you take a product and sell it for 15 times. Because if I can go Amazon this right now, it's over. So if you want to compete and be a long-lasting business, you have to have a product that's priced right. When I say priced right, it's got to be comparable or better than all your competitors. And that's where Mintage Mining is a blast, because for the entry of $25, it's game over. Find competitors allow you to do that. But then the results, and anyways, we can go into all the benefits, we've already talked about it, but you have to be competitive, not just in the network marketing space, but in real life business. You just said it. People join companies and pay $80 because why? It's the comp plan. That's why. Otherwise, you'll get that same protein, even at GNC, okay? But Amazon and Walmart, they're the ones that have changed this game. You can literally just Google it, Amazon it, and it's there. So what's interesting is, I'm excited because NUI has focused on products and services that are priced right, that always help the customer or the client. Now the cool thing is, if you're always helping the customer and client, how easy is it now to go build a business? If I want to be a builder, if I'm a network marketer and I want to go crush this, well, now I've got a product that's priced right, that does pay, has phenomenal results, and now it's fun because I believe it, I'm using it, and I can share it with everyone. Yeah, it's the easiest thing in the world to share. Now, let's talk about sharing and selling. Because there's a lot of our competitors out there have gone out there and pushed and done. They've had success, massive success.
With a lot of hype, though.
With a lot of hype. And the problem is when you're dealing in the crypto space, once again, without the regulation, there's a lot of violations. There's a lot of things said, a lot of promises made. I've seen it. I get pitched on it every day. I can say this on camera, it's not us. But my favorite thing is someone comes to me and says, you can get paid 3 to 5% a day. And I scratch my head and going, how in the world is that possible?
You know what's possible and what's not.
But people are doing that. The beautiful thing about the way we operate at NUI and Mintage is we've had to make a very hard decision and allow our builders the runway to make it happen. But at the same time, the second they're out there saying false claims, violating our policies and procedures, and saying these things that get us as a company in trouble, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm on camera, but there is no 3 strikes, you're out. It's a violation, and you're actually terminated. At some circumstances, you'll be suspended, but we want this company to be here for years and years and years. I'm in it because this is where I've put my flag. So in order for that to happen, we as builders need to look out for each other and make sure that we're compliant. We have the rules and regulations, but it's a one violation deal. I mean, you get found doing something, putting our company in jeopardy, putting your company, your family in jeopardy. I got to be honest, I'll tell you straight up. This guy's not gone on camera ever. This is the first time, but he's not done it for that exact reason. Because he wants this, he has a reputation, he has success that he wants that to stand. And when you're dealing with network marketers, sometimes they get really excited and go hype this thing out of the stratosphere, and it's not real.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that we, like for me and my team, and we've worked really closely with you guys in developing this, is creating the tools and the sales funnels and all this stuff for everybody to succeed. Because if there's a hole, people are going to fill it, and they're probably going to fill it with the wrong thing, and they're going to screw everybody else over, right? And so, that's just the reality.
It's reality, unfortunately.
And so what we want to do is we want to figure out how do we create the tools and the systems and everything for everybody to be successful. Because when you take how awesome this is on its own, it's amazing on its own. But when you take completely online duplicatable systems and sales funnels and everything and integrate everything together, it's like there's nothing in the world that can go past it. I mean, have you ever seen customer or rep retention like you have in this? I mean, talk to me a little bit about that.
I'll let him talk. He's been in the industry just as long.
Go ahead.
I mean, there's kind of 2 parts that I wanted to talk about. One is my belief of blockchain, right, is that it's a decentralized network, which is a perfect candidate for MLMs or for network marketing. Because the whole premise is we want to create connections between people worldwide. And so the the benefit that we have over any other facility or company that's going to sell mining is we have the network. They don't have that. And so that's a real big advantage for a marketing strategy.
That's massive.
And then the other part of it is by being able to acquire the hardware at sufficient discounts, we're actually using the profits or the proceeds that we would get on the hardware purchase or the comp plan.
Gotcha.
So that's why we're not selling our product at a substantial premium. We're selling it at market rates.
Gotcha.
And so we're saying, okay, instead of Mintage having a big sales team and NUI being an add-on to what we're already doing, so the exclusive arrangement really makes it work for both sides.
So it's just that exclusive marketing deal that you guys have going.
Yeah. That way, NUI doesn't have to go mark up the price 500% in order to make money.
To make it work.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, I know you're running low on time, right? So, anybody that, after seeing this has any questions or maybe is help me just kind of ease people's concerns, because there's a lot of, if I'm a person, which I am, but like imagine I'm at the beginning here and I'm just coming to you and I'm uncertain, I'm excited, I really want to be here, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
What do you say to me?
Oh, if you're nervous?
Yeah.
It's $25. That's what I say. There is a real reason why we picked that entry level. One, I've spent my entire career working internationally.
Yeah.
I am sick and tired of network marketing companies charging my brothers in Central America or my brothers in the Philippines or Asia, $150 to $300 a month. It does not work. It's tough.
Right.
So we came out with a price point that everyone can afford at $25.
Yeah, being active is not hard.
$25. $25. It's very simple.
Yeah.
But also for the doubters, it's $25. Try it. I have brought in a lot of money. He has too. And the number one thing is when someone says, "Hey, I want to put $1 million in," I never let them do that.
Right.
Put 1,000 in, put 10 grand in, and wait till you try it and see what the results and till you feel comfortable. Once you feel comfortable, you put in whatever you want. I don't sell a single thing here.
Right.
It's beautiful. So if someone's nervous, I say try it out. Now, probably by the time this video is live, we're going to have free.
Yeah.
So literally, you can try this out for free. Put $25 in, up to $300. See for yourself. That's what I say.
Yeah. No, that's.
But on a whole different note, what I want to share with you guys on this video is that business is a fun thing. I love business. Okay, there's ups and downs, and I have had success. I've been very blessed twice in my life to be able to say, "Hey, I'm taking the next year off or 2 years off."
Yep.
But I've also had the downs, and during those downs is when I've really learned that what I stand for is helping that million people. Helping 1 million people make $500. It's the little guy. If you want to get passion and purpose out of me, that's what this is about. It's about helping them be able to breathe again. $500 in the U.S. You can what is it? The ratio? I think it's 91% of bankruptcies could be avoided with $500 a month.
$383.
There you go. Okay, there's the quote. Okay, but $500 in Venezuela,
huge.
In Honduras, in the Philippines, even in Japan, is life-changing. And that's what this is about. I had the opportunity to do other businesses where I saw 2,100 people making $500 to $1,000 a month, and they still thank me because what you do is it's not the $500. It's the ability to breathe again. It's the ability to remember what it is I want to do in my life. What's my purpose? What's my passion? It's the ability to dream again. And that's really what we're doing. We had to put a monetary goal behind it because we have to be able to measure ourselves and have progress. But just think, if you can help someone have hope again, then they have confidence, and we got a community, and then you can cause real change in this world. And it all starts with a simple little thing, providing that platform, the rails, to be able to get to that $500 a month. Now, if you're here to make $1 million a month or more, you help 1,000 people do that, and you're done.
Yep. You're
set. And I think all the leaders are noticing that in the compensation plan.
Yep.
But you have a product that works, a service that's amazing, and then you put a compensation plan in a community where we're all helping each other.
Yep.
Life gets fun.
So, I know I said end with that, but now that you say it that way, it makes me want to ask you, talk about the TBS for a couple minutes and why the TBS.
All right,
literally make it quick, but
we have a compensation plan, right? It's a 3x10 matrix, okay, and you have a unilevel. But we've always struggled to find a compensation plan that helps pull instead of push, right? It's hard to push. If every other company I've seen, okay, end of the month, I got to get you to buy it. Auto, you got to buy it.
Totally.
Well, this one with a 3x10 matrix, when I go bring in 3 people, great. I bring in the 4th, it's going to fall below Dave. Mm-hmm. If Dave's not doing the business, he's just doing he just wants to be a client, and he's getting the results, and he's happy. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he starts to notice that there's potential commissions that are passing him. What is Dave going to do? Gets excited. He's like, holy cow, I think I might do this.
Yeah.
First off, he's using the product, so he's happy. But then now he's seeing that there's a potential that he could have a team. He has a team already, but he can start to help that. And it's one of those things. That 3x10 matrix is interesting.
Yeah.
But we brought in 300,000 people. We've had less than 1% ask for their money back over an 18-month period.
It's pretty amazing.
I've been in this game for a long time. I've never seen that.
Right.
Ever. That's what this compensation plan does. Also, we don't have a monthly, right? There's no monthly.
That's huge. Just to be able to come in and pay, whether it's the annual fee or whether you get in cheap or whatever, for no monthly. I mean, really, the replacement of the monthly auto ship is the rebuys of the mining contracts.
That goes to help who? Who does it help? You,
the community. Yeah. I mean, you're really just compounding opportunity is all you're doing.
So if you want a monthly, go ahead. You can have a monthly. Put it in the Mintage. Every month and get paid more.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I've had leaders ask me, will you go back and do the monthly model? And I'm scratching my head going, no.
I know. I had a guy I was talking to the other day that was like, you need a product for monthly ship. I'm like, you're not getting it. Like, this is it. You know?
Go put your $200 a month into your own contract and watch the results.
Yeah. It's so true. So
beautiful.
It's awesome. So you have anything else you want to say? Or?
Not
you
that
good?
I can think.
Nothing.
Oh, I did forget to answer your one question.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
A minute ago, which was what were you asking? How many people repurchase?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So in Mintage right now, it's been over 85-90% of people are rebuying.
Using the repurchase.
So let's pause. I'm going to pause that right there. Pause.
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
85 to 90% of people repurchase.
That's awesome.
On average.
Find us a network marketing company that has that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
There's not one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything
ever
like that.
That's awesome.
Ever. There's one other thing I'm going to add to this, because our COO came to this information because he had the Nui membership with your Mintage stuff and he combined it. It's the first time I've ever seen a product that's 18 to 20% across every single demographic. From the age of 18 up to 70. Did you know this yet?
No way.
Yeah, he presented it to us today in the executive meeting. 18 to 20% across every demographic. So then we said, well, what happens if it's a $5,000 contract? The youngers have got to be dropping off. Absolutely not.
No.
The millennials put just as much in as the 50 to 60.
Because they understand it more and they're excited about it. It's their future.
I've never seen a product where we have an 85% repurchase and is even across the demographics. I've never seen it.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, so we're on the right track. Now, the next 12 months, 24 months, 36 are going to be, it's my prediction that it's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to help a lot of people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, guys, I wanted to thank you for this. This is awesome. I mean, this is something I've wanted to do since, I first came in and met you, and we're really excited about the partnership that we have going and everything that we're doing together. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to get this out there. I mean, I think it's probably the most important thing I can think of is letting people see this to really understand. Because I'm a big believer that nobody should get involved in anything they don't fully understand.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is going to be a big help for a lot of people.
Thank you for your time, too. And thank you guys for watching.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys later.
Very cool. Rock on. See you guys.